Welcome to this week's video, and we are fitting a very simple but clever part. And what this does, it transforms the drivability of your vehicle for whether you're setting off and you want more power instantly, or for me, this is about not damaging something on a vehicle that is reliable, but when it breaks is hella expensive to fix. The way it does it is through this little unit here. This isn't all of it, however, this is the bulk of it. And this is the better model that connects Bluetooth to your phone. YouTube hates me. So what's a throttle controller? Effectively, your vehicle comes with a factory setting on how fast your vehicle will react, your throttle will react when you put your foot down, which is great for safety for the average person. However, if you're watching this, you are not the average person and you do not drive the average vehicle. What this does is effectively, you unplug your factory throttle pedal. You're going to plug that plug into here, and you're going to put this plug into your throttle cable. From this little unit, you've got a tiny little cable here, which runs somewhere up your dashboard to this. This goes to this. That's it. You've got a sticky tab that you can put this straight on your dashboard. You can put this in some sort of little cradly, nippery thing, whatever you want to do. From there, you can control your vehicle one of two directions, and this is opposite ends of the spectrum. This is a threefold improvement and three features that are amazing if you are a driver. One, throttle response. This thing is heavy, it is mapped up, it is quicker than standard, but when I bought this van as an empty work van, in the wet this would get leery and snake the back end about because the power went down so fast. Awesome. However, it's now a 3.5 ton camper van. That no longer happens, so sometimes pulling out of a junction or when I really need the thing to perform, it's a bit lacking. It gets rid of that, okay? So what this does then is it takes the idiot-proof setting off of your factory pedal and lets you have the power straight away. So instant power, can't fault that. Much faster throttle response, can't fault that. The other extreme for that is when you're off-road, and you will have seen this in my videos if you've watched me off-roading this thing. If you get onto some loose rocks, loose shale, you start to bunny hop, you start to jump. That's when you're losing traction, gaining traction, losing traction, gaining traction when you put your foot down. That's how you break half shafts, that's how you blow diffs and gearboxes, okay? So what this then does is dull down the throttle pedal, which you think you want it, but you don't. You want to dull down. Because as you're jumping, you're pressing on and off the throttle, which is making the thing worse. Because you've then put it in the safety setting and dulled it down, it's then not making the revs jump up and spin and stop and spin and stop, which then gets rid of a situation. And then an even better feature in this is you can actually turn the throttle pedal off. Why do you want to turn it off? Well, I'll tell you why you want to turn it off, is because if I jump out of this vehicle in the middle of winter and I want to keep all my heaters going, I want to keep the engine charging, everything in the back, I want to keep that engine going, but I need to go and unstick someone and leave this running on a lane or on an obstacle or something like that, and I want to disappear over there. I don't want Billy Random Walker jumping in my vehicle and then reversing off with it. So what this allows me to do is I can use the app on this, or I can use the controller, but you'd use the app on this, you'd then turn it to a safety feature which then turns your throttle off, which you can do that before you park the vehicle up as well. Disable the throttle, and then you could even take the little controller away with you. You have just bricked your throttle cable. How is someone going to steal your car with no throttle? What a feature. Obviously, there is an entire list of things that this thing will do, from valet, which if you're, because obviously I valet this all the time. You can stick it in valet, someone can drive it off, they're not going to be able to rev the knackers on it and abuse it. I don't think this is aimed at this kind of vehicle, I think that's more for your performance vehicles and stuff, but this does fit other vehicles other than the Sprinter 4x4. So if you do have a pickup truck, a Ford Ranger, a more modern Defender, something like that, check these out. It is a fantastic way to burn your Christmas money. So as you can see there, it's very confidently saying it's a 10-minute install, and the lads at DNA 4x4 who supplied this said, look, we can fit it for you, however, even you, Rich, can fit this in 10 minutes. It is a non-issue whatsoever. So let's have a look. First of all, I'm going to test fit this by getting this cable up to this location where I can easily press this, see this and control this. So instantly we have the cable up here for the controller. We have this cable running down here now. So what we're going to do is we're now going to unplug the throttle cable and put this in line. Then we're going to tidy all this up with said tie wraps. So as you can see, now we've got from the throttle cable into the unit, from the unit into the factory settings, and the cable is everywhere. And with the magic of YouTube, so as you can see here, that cycles through all the modes very, very easily. You can set them up to, we've got Ultimate 0, we've got Factory, so they're going to be where it should be. We've got Ultimate 9, which is going to give you the faster throttle response. Going to get the Valet, which is going to turn it down so you can't abuse the vehicle. And obviously we've got the safety settings. So on usability, you can see that we're set to factory at the minute, and in this centre section here, it gives you the level that it's on. So if we want power, straight away, you can see this is up to level 9, and that mimics it on the display. If we want in anti-slip, boom, straight up to level slip, anti-night. So I could be on the straights coming up to the lane, needing the power and everything. I start bouncing around, and I want to save my half shafts, bang it over to anti-slip. Boom, we're not going to destroy something as easily. Also, we've got launch, which, as you can imagine, me and my Sprinter van doesn't really need launch on this one. So I think pretty much it's going to be these top two. But again, I really, really like this feature, and just in case we have to okay that we want to lock the pedal. And something that doesn't come up very often is, I suppose, we could go to eco for those long old stints on the motorway when we're travelling across countries. It's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen. On a camera point of view, this is hard to pick up from on a standing thing without doing lots of silly runs up and down the road, which you could blag anyway. But effectively, what we can see here is we can go to economy 9, and when I do a quick blip, and I'm in a quick blip, I mean that, we're effectively getting the rev count to go to about 1000 RPM. Go to Ultimate 9 and a quick blip, 1100 RPM. So just by doing a quick that on the throttle, you're already seeing the difference that's sending to the engine, if that makes sense. So the next time you see me, please don't call me out if I break something next time I'm off-road, which is probably the next time you're going to see me. So make sure you subscribe below, because I am taking someone out as a bit of a test up a shale hill that we've already done in this, and it bounced about so much I had to come to a stop and start again. So you will see if I'm right or wrong. As always, make sure you drop a comment down below, because that helps massively to the channel, as well as check the link in the description, because this was sent out by DNA 4x4, because they are specialists in the more modern overland builds with the pickups, with the Ford Rangers, Nissan Navaras, things like that. They are selling these kits for multiple different vehicles, so make sure you check those out.